Hello, hello, everyone. I hope that everyone is fine, and I hope that you are getting ready to have a wonderful weekend and celebrations with your family. I wanted to bring this story to you because it is uh, about our neighbor to the north of us, which is, of course, Canada. And I think it's very telling when we look at the progression of how all of this started. Apparently, there are some gas stations that have run out of fuel. Now, I have two contacts there in that area and have spoken to both of them. And even though this story was written or printed, I should say, June 30th, 12:31 p.m., here's the skinny. The deal is that it's even gotten more grave since then. I did call another part of Canada this morning, well, this afternoon, and I found out that some of the Shell stations, if not all of them, in the area that I called, which was Victoria, it's a great difference from here, but they did have fuel. These locations do not. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this story with you, and then I want to show you some of the other associated stories that go along with it. Now, uh, here I'm going to read this, and then I'll show you some of the maintenance that was scheduled by Suncor in that particular area. The reason why I'm bringing this to you is because one of the folks that sent this information to me is very concerned, and I can't blame him because I see it the same way. Very concerned that what's going on there will definitely come here. And I have to say that after speaking to the second person that lives in this country and in these areas, they agree. Why? Because it's spreading so rampantly, but it's sort of under the wire right now. But a British Columbia interior fuel shortage, first reported in Kamloops and then Kelowna, is spreading to Vernon. Handwritten signs were taped up on the gas pumps at the Middleton Way 7-Eleven petrol gas station on Thursday, which was yesterday. All right. It also says that the signs read, "Out of gas, sorry for any inconvenience." This follows stations in Kelowna running out of fuel earlier this week. Signs posted at some stations pointed to ethanol delivery problems from the Kamloops bulk fuel terminal, which is operated by Suncor. This issue is expected to be rectified within a few days. Problems first started showing up around the middle of the month when some Kamloops stations were dry. This followed a Suncor refinery shutdown in Edmonton for maintenance. This also impacted stations in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. A Suncor spokesperson said that 142,000 thousand barrels a day refinery was restarted the second week of June. The shortage was made worse because other suppliers were also offline. Now, other suppliers were also offline, and I'm going to come back over here and bring this to you guys, this other story, the other portion of this. Hello to everybody. Hi to all of y'all. I see y'all. How you doing? So now this is a reason for us to be, we should definitely look at it. Now, in hey Marty, another portion of this that I find very curious is the fact that, and I'm going to show you those tabs. If I hope I still have them up, but even if I don't, we'll fish around and find them. But what I was going to tell you was that they're talking about giving a break. So some places are going to see 18 cents a liter or whatnot as a discount for this weekend. But this is really telling because when I called around and I searched and I looked and I looked and I looked, I didn't find anything except for the stories that were sent to me, which tells me that there's a purpose for everybody not knowing this, but I could be wrong. This is Metro Vancouver. Gas prices smash a record high again, and here's what's to it. Here's what they need to expect. So this was starting at the top of last month, but remember, they were stating that the top of last month was when those specific that specific refinery was shut down for it to be repaired. But the greater concern, I think, for us here is that it's under the wire and it's happening very quietly. Under the wire and it's happening very quietly. Whatever happens in those areas are most assuredly what's happening here. And it will be. It's very, very telling every time something goes on. Now, I'm not sure whether you guys know it or not, but just recently they took all of the guns. mostly all of the guns in that area, the pow pows, whatever. I mean, people can get, frisky about it, about the verbiage that's used. It doesn't matter. The fact is this is what's going on, right? We can play the game all we want to play the game, but the truth is this is what's happening. All right. Um, so that's one of the things. Let me see. I have another story here for you that I wanted to share with you guys. Um, let's see. Is it this one? I'm gonna let you see this. Let's see here. All right. Oh well, that's an even bigger one. An unrelated story, but this one was sent as well. But I'll go ahead and read this one to you. In a remarkable disclosure, Canada's National Police Force has described for the first time how it uses spyware to infiltrate mobile devices and collect data, including by remotely turning on the camera and microphone of a suspect's phone or laptop. Ironically, they use the term suspect, but you and I both know that this means regular folks. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police said that it only uses such tools in the most serious of cases with less intrusive techniques when they're unsuccessful. But until now, the force has not been open about its ability to employ malware to hack phones and other devices, despite using the tools for several years. Between 2018 and 2022, the RCMP said that it deployed this technology in 10 investigations, which means just regular everyday folk be getting spied on. All right. That's basically what they're saying. Now, when we're looking at this particular story, I'm going to take it right back to the original one we were looking at because that's really all we need. That one story. That's really all we need, especially in tandem with the fact that I have spoken with folks who said that it's not just there now, it's moving. It is moving into Ontario. And Ontario was where they were basically saying they were giving the gas pump break. All right. That's where they're giving the break. Let me get that story for you. Here it is, where they're saying that the petrol there in that particular area was going to be down. Um, and let me see right here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna let you see this for Suncor talking about what they do. Well, I'm also what I'm doing right now is I'm going to confirm that they were definitely down for this maintenance, and the maintenance was scheduled way back when, of course, and very very timely. So, what does Suncor do? Well, we produce and provide energy. We provide trusted energy that enhances people's lives while caring for each other and the earth. All right. All right, so let's go back to the page before this. Okay, here you go. Here they're sharing with everybody that they are going to start to have the maintenance plant in spring of 2022, which would have put it right in line with what was going on in late May. See, late May, top of June, which is what we just read on the other story. So pre-work begins in quarter one for select trades. All right, with feed out scheduled for late May. That's when they got hit there in the area that they're referencing in the other story. Late May would definitely lend to the top of June. If you're saying late May, then that definitely bleeds right over into June 2022. As the story states, they started seeing some loss of fuel in those areas at that time. Now, there is nothing that is being stated as to whether or not they're going to replenish it. It doesn't show that. It doesn't say it is, but it doesn't say it isn't. This right here on the screen is simply a confirmation of what the story said. Because I'm not in that country and because I'm not there, as I shared with the individual who was kind enough to send this to me, if I cannot confirm it with at least two sources or at least one solid source, I cannot, I can't report on it. But I definitely think that this is something to look forward to. And I definitely think that we need to keep our eyes on it. All right. This is not in the mainstream there. This is in a very small town. I should say it's a very small publication. However, those generally are the better ones to find information out. All right. Those generally are the better ones to find information out. And it could, you know what, for all I know, it could be a big one, but it definitely shows the city here. It could be big. Castanet could be large. I don't know. Happy Canada Day, it says there. And then it goes on to talk about the food shortage, the fuel shortage widens. Fuel shortage widens. The fuel shortage widens. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I topped off last night. Not that that'll get you far, but it definitely won't have you on E. All right. It definitely won't have you on E, because when you got to get up and go, you got to get up and be gone. Right. So, for those who are just coming in, the story that we started out with is BC interior fuel shortage, first reported in Kamloops and then Kelowna, is spreading to Vernon. The handwritten signs were taped up on the gas pumps at the Middleton Way 7-Eleven petrol gas station there on Thursday. The story was written June 30th at 12:31. It was published. It says the signs read, "Out of gas, sorry for any inconvenience." This follows stations in Kelowna running out of fuel earlier this week. Signs posted at some stations pointed to ethanol delivery problems from the Kamloops bulk terminal, which is operated by Suncor. All right. Marty, if you're still here, will you do me a favor so that I don't have to try to fumble around? Can you tell me if that company is a part of the WEF Suncor? I'm sure they are. But all of their names are all on their website. I should have pulled that up. I should have thought about that. But if not, I'll pull it up and maybe put it in the community tab for you guys. But anyway, it goes on to say that the issue was expected to be rectified within a few days, and the problems first started showing up around the middle of June when some Kamloops stations were dry. This followed a Suncor refinery shut down in Edmonton for maintenance. Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient that it would be shut down right then? Not that they don't have to do maintenance. I just think it plays right into what's going on. That's all. A Suncor spokesperson said the 142,000 barrel a day refinery was restarted the second week of June. The shortage was made worse because other suppliers were also offline. I couldn't find this anywhere. I looked all over here in our area, and on this side of the pond, as it were, okay, and I saw nothing. I saw nothing. And I do see some of you folks in here talking about a couple of things that's going on with the actor. I don't get into what actors say. You know why I don't get into what actors say? Because there was another actor who did not mind ruining his entire career. He didn't mind ruining his entire career when he was talking about the former seated president. And I think it was Robert De Niro. Uh, yeah, he didn't care. He ruined his whole career. I used to like watching his movies, but I don't like people who get political and then I got to pay you to watch it either on on a streaming or either go sit down and I'm not going to watch it no more. So now that this guy is saying what he's saying, that's fine. I just don't get into the whole um I don't get into the whole propaganda. They all buddies. They all in the same crew. All of them in the same crew. All right. And over this past month, while we were in intercession, there's so much stuff that was revealed to me. And the reason for you not seeing me much lately is because I got to sort of when some of that stuff got to me, what the Ruach Hakodesh, also known as the Holy Spirit, was revealing to me, it put some stuff into perspective. Okay, slam some stuff right into perspective. So I don't get into all of that stuff no more. I see what they're saying, I see what they're doing, but you know what? They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Here's what we need to be concerned about if we're gonna have any concerns at all. And we really shouldn't even have a concern about it. I think we should just be very aware. All right. We should be very aware. Be aware of the I believe it was 1991 um, deal that was with the Noahide laws. Go back to that. And then if you go back to that, you'll also find that they were united with the Sharia law based on a publication that they had done where they had brought this information out and said, hey, you know what? We all came together to get this common thing settled in our community. Even though there was a young lady who was Muslim and it was a young man or a priest or what do they call with a little yarmulke? He was a guy that they were saying, hey, we're going to work together to get this food for our children put on the lunch menu, both halal as well as kosher food pushed onto the menu for our children. And so that's what they were talking about. And that's what I'm referencing. And you can definitely believe I'll go ahead and give you that story as well. But my point is the deal that's going on right now. And I guess maybe this should even be another live. I don't know, but I'm going to give it to you guys. I believe nobody else has told me any of this. I'm just sharing with you what my belief is. I believe that the reason why we are returning to different things that should have never existed. Listen, what happened 50 years ago with the Supreme Court should have never been done, ever. Everybody is screaming around and pandemonium and running and acting crazy. And they're acting crazy because they're believing or they're acting and they're being paid. But either way it goes, What they're looking at is we're doomed. They're taking away this from us. They're taking away that from us. No, in actuality, they're putting it right back where it was always supposed to be. It was never supposed to be. Look, the Supreme Court does not make law. The Supreme Court does not make law. Congress takes care of that. You know what I mean? They've got their arm. So 50 years ago, that was done. But when I say in 1991, when they did the whole under the wire with the United Nations, giving them a day, and you haven't seen the day, have you? Have you seen a celebration of that day? No, there's a cat. They said, okay, this is his birthday or this is his day, and we're going to give him his day. But what they did was the Noahide Law popped up. Now, please don't think that that went away. Please don't think they don't have a purpose for that. You get this, okay? No, no, Daniel. No, we already read it, but I'll go back over it with you. But no, not all of them, baby. Not all of them are Daniel Prey. All right. Here's the deal. You have the Noahide Law. Then you go and you start reversing things, undoing things here in the United States. Once you start undoing it and everybody that is quote unquote a Christian starts to celebrate, that's when you need to sit back and chill. You really need to be chilling because there is so much information that goes along with the Noahide Law, okay? That even though people will say, well, I'm not concerned with that because I'm not a part of this world system. We can do a lot of talking. We can talk about a whole lot of stuff. We can quote all kinds of scriptures. But what you got to realize is you're thinking with a normal mind. Those who would use those things to subdue you are not. They're simply saying, see, this is what's written, and this is our interpretation of what's written. And if that's their interpretation of what's written, you're going to toe the line, or a whole lot of other stuff is going to happen. So all of these things are being done. If you are in an area and you can't get out of there, you ain't got no gas, you're a sitting duck. If you can't protect yourself, you're a sitting duck. They're looking for sitting ducks. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can find this one here for you guys, because I had it on some tabs where I was doing some things that I was about to bring out. I have a whole boatload of stories that I've got to put out now that I've been recording over the past few days. Child, you're going to hear some of these stories. You're going to be like, oh, that's old news. Okay, well, just add it to the game. Since I recorded it, I got to make sure that it's up there. Let's see. I want to make sure that I pull up the correct stuff for you guys. All right, I know where it is. That means it's up on that other dreaded side. And when I go to that side, you all remember it turns into a crazy sound on this side. So it's on the other side. I will just make that a different live. And we're going to talk about that because that needs to be discussed anyway. We need to discuss that anyway. All right. But what we need to understand is that even though we are celebrating and saying hooray for Hollywood, y'all hit that like button for me, please. Everybody who's here, please do me a big favor and hit that like button. Okay. Just hit the like button for me. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So, what we have to realize is that when that stuff starts happening, hold on just a second. Hey, you got more info before me? I'm live. Okay. So what you got to understand is that all of this stuff is playing together. Don't just focus on one thing. Don't just look at everything. Okay, let's see what Marty says. Yep, it's in the top 10. All right. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you, Marty. Thank you. But you see how my mind works, Marty? I want to connect the dots, and I connect them. I take the long way to get to where I'm going, but I got to have the dots connected so that I know 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 what I'm talking about. And that's why I said this. Thank you so much. All right. So Suncor Energy, yep, it's in the top 10 traded oil companies to be on the carbon control agenda. All right. All right. I got you. All right. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you for that. All right. So that's what the deal is. So that's the reason why, yeah, they had it scheduled way back when that first portion there in Suncor's press that release said it was months and months before. But now isn't it convenient that it lines up with a time where the fuel is exceptionally high? The fuel is exceptionally high. Why? Because everything that you see is a plan. So what I'm telling you to do is when we all were doing that intercession this past month, keep on pressing in, keep interceding because the Father will open up your eyes. The Father will open up your eyes. And you know, Rage, When was I talking about this? When I said that they were opening it up. Remember that? It was months ago. We've been doing story after story after story leading up to the month of June, which is when they said they were going to turn it on and keep it on. All right. Okay. Yeah, July 5th. Okay. None of that stuff shocks me because when I was connecting the dots a few months ago, I knew that was going to happen. We all did, right? We all did. All right. It's what it is. So here's the point. Let's harness ourselves back here. Let's harness this. The deal is they out of gas up there. They out of gas. The deal is if you ain't got none, you better go get some. Okay? That's the deal. If you don't have none, you better go get some. Okay? That's what the deal is. This was June 30th, 2022. This story came out. All right? That's one of their stations right there. All right? That's one of their stations right there. That's it right there. Let me make it even bigger so we can read what it say. Out of fuel, out of gas. Sorry for the inconvenience. See that? See that? Look, this is something that we need to open our eyes to. We need to open our eyes to this because this is a weekend that's supposed to be a celebration for us here. And we all know that people like to travel. But what I'm going to say is if you're going to travel, make sure you can get back to the house. Okay? All right. Or you have enough of something to keep you taken care of in case something get buck wild. Period. All right. Period. Yeah. So this is what we are going to be if look like we're gonna have to just start interceding again. We just have to go ahead on and dig in again. I don't know. But I sure know one thing. A lot of people did send in messages and emails and even text messages stating that they had received breakthroughs by standing in the gap for this nation, by standing in the gap for their community, standing in the gap for our community, because that's what the salt does. That's what the salt does. You feel me? That is the salt does its gig. And when you're interceding, you're doing the right thing. When you are interceding, you are doing the right thing. We already know what they can do. We already know what's up. We already know what's going on. We already know all of that. But when you are interceding, you're pulling down strongholds. Okay? Because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. And for the people who say, I feel like getting like my brother now, Roy says, hey, if you don't want to talk about the spiritual things, you may want to turn off now. And guess what? I respect you. I respect you if you don't want to hear the spiritual things. But if you can't see that everything that's going on in the spirit realm is now coming down here into the natural, I don't know what to say. Okay? I don't know what to say. All right? But that's what's going on right now. All right? We have to be the salt in this earth. We have to be. We have to be. We don't have that type of choice. We don't have that kind of luxury. Let me see, can I find this stuff? Gee whiz, you guys. I really want you to see this, but I guess maybe the leaning for me is that I need to make that a second video because it is very impactful. All of the stuff that I have is on the other tab under my what is this thing called? Microsoft Edge tab. And whenever we would go over to Microsoft Edge on this Google side, remember it would give us those terrible sounds and we couldn't hear anything. So I had to stop doing that once I realized that one doesn't want you to cross feed the other. Amazing. Amazing. So here's the deal. Let's get it together. Put everything in perspective. Understand that we are here in this earth realm for a purpose. For those of us who know how to intercede and for those of us who know who we are, it's time to get busy. Yeah, it's time to get busy. It's time to get busy. All right, let me say hello to some of you folks out here. I want to say hi to everybody who has tuned in to us today. And now you all know why I've been a little quiet because a lot of stuff that, again, was revealed to me was amazing. A lot of the things that's going on is really starting to make me focus in a different direction. We're starting to solidify some things. We're starting to get some stuff together. We're starting to close some things up. You guys go over to FeliciaLockhart.com. Check me out at FeliciaLockhart.com if you want to find out where I'm going to be speaking, if you want to find out how you can have a session with me, if you want to find out any of that, go to FeliciaLockhart.com, and that way you can do that. We can all we can chat, we can talk, we can do any of that stuff. Okay. And that's where you can find out about anything that I'm doing. Anything that I'm doing, that's where you can find it out. FeliciaLockhart.com. You can also leave me a message there. If you want to drop a line there, FeliciaLockhart.com is a place to do it. In tandem with that, I want you also to know that with the exception of this coming Monday, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you will be able to tune in to Headlines with a Voice and the Lockhart Perspective. The channel Lockhart Perspective is going to be there on Blog Talk Radio, and it is a call in show. You can call into the show and you can make your comments and your presence known. I'm going to upload a video directly after this that is already prepared, and it already has the phone number on there. I want to see you guys in the place to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Blog Talk Radio. And if you would like to book a session with me, I do not minister to men. I only minister to women. So I only counsel women and young adolescent women, young girls. If you are 16 and above, then I counsel that age group. Okay. And then I only counsel or only minister to and make book sessions for the women. I do not book sessions for men. Okay. Just so that you guys will know that, so that if you're trying to get somebody to talk to there, then you would have to make sure that you get a young man if you are a gentleman. All right. I only minister to women, and you can book a session right there. You can put an inquiry, book a session right there on the Lockhart Perspective, but you go to FeliciaLockhart.com. All right. Sandy Aaron, hello. I'm glad to see you, sweetheart. All right, everybody. I'm glad to see all of you guys. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to get off now. I'm going to upload the video that I made. It's just an audio video. It's of the lady. It's of the lady. The lady. You remember the lady? The very nice person. She and her husband were very nice people. It's about her. It's about what she had to say about the whole Roe overturning, which was amazing to me. And I'm going to go back to that one because that was overturned, but it was never supposed to be in existence, as we said earlier. But in tandem with that, it is about each state. So if your state had stuff on the books with regards to that topic, nothing's changed in your state. Nothing's changed in your state. Love you too, Zeb. Nothing has changed in your state. Your state, if y'all had some amazing stuff going on, then guess what? You still got the same amazing stuff going on. All right? If y'all have some amazing stuff going on in your state, then you still have some amazing stuff going on in your state. So nothing has changed. The hoopla is to untie their bow tie. They're going to start to reverse a lot of stuff. It has a two-prong to it. Two prongs. One prong is to cause bedlam, confusion, and mayhem. The other prong is to make sure that they are able to roll out Noahide / Sharia together. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Noahide laws if you are of that, if that's where you're supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to be under. But this is not that. What they're doing with what I read is totally different. So that's going to be another video, maybe even another live. And then what's going on with Sharia? Nothing wrong with Sharia if that's what you are. I'm not offending anybody. I'm just being fair. If you rock with Sharia law and you are a Muslim and you are in Islam, you know what? I don't have a problem with that. What I'm saying is here, where we're supposed to have a constitution, where we're supposed to have everything else, there is something about that. It's just not, it's not a coinky dink. All right. It's not a coinky dink. Nobody said anything about those little meat slicers that were purchased under number 44. I ain't heard nothing about the meat slicers. What happened to all the meat slicers? Boatloads of them. Whole lot of meat slicers that number 44 ordered. Y'all better follow me. Y'all better follow what I'm saying. Whole bunch of meat slicers that were ordered under number 44. What happened to them? Where are they? What are they for? What were they for? When are they going to show back up? So do not get up here and be all, oh, wonderful. Oh, this is great. Oh, hooray for Hollywood. Yay, they stopped X, Y, or Z. No, you better get to scratching your head and say, yo, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Hey, my son is here. Hey, how you doing there, Frank? Say, oh, wait a minute now. Oh, wait a minute now. Okay. Okay. In 2020. Thank you, Sandy. There you go. You're absolutely right. Broadcasting. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Broadcasting. Okay. So I'm going to let y'all know you got to keep your eyeballs open, baby. You got to keep seeing beyond what you see. Even though for a few minutes it might make us feel a little gratified and a little happy and a little feeling good, you got to wait and say, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Our state already had some pretty strict laws. So this is not applicable to us. So what is it really about? Well, it's two-pronged. Roll it on in, roll in that new law, roll in that new understanding. Because now you got enough people that really want it, right? You've already imported enough individuals. So even though that's not what the United States was allegedly formed on, okay, even though that's not it, right? You now importing enough people who need it, give it to us. Now we're in the land of the free. We want to be free to do what we do. Okay, you can do it. But here's the thing. In a second, because of what the Asian law thing, you guys remember the Asian hate law? Do you know what they are considered? Do you know that's even the Asian laws? Asian is not just Korean or Japanese or Chinese. No, it's Pakistani. All right, it's a whole bunch of folk that rock with those two belief systems of the rule of law. And I got to say that way. Y'all can follow the dots. It's a whole lot of people that follow with that rule of law that they have now imported that now will say, well, we want to go ahead and do that. That's how we want. And then they're going to be like, well, there's a whole lot more of them than it is the Christians. How many people identify as Christian? How many people identify as this? How many people identify as that? Well, it looks like the majority rules because we are a democracy, so we got to go with we got to go with the majority. And there's some very strict rules in that thing. When I read that the other day, my eyeballs was like, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So they didn't buy nothing for nothing. Okay, they didn't purchase things for nothing. What number 44 purchased, that was his job. That was his job. His job was to purchase those in mass. I mean, large amounts. Nobody ever said, why do we need that many meat cutters? Why do we need any? Why are we paying for them? Scratching our heads. Why are we paying for them? Well, do you know what some of the do you have any idea what some of the punishment is when you commit certain things in certain areas? Treason, for example, going against the grain of the government. Do you know what anybody? 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 Yeah, that's right. So that's what we talk about. And that's where it is. This right here, again, the fuel shortage up in Canada was first reported in Kamloops, then Kelowna. It spread to Vernon. There were handwritten signs that were taped on the gas pumps at the Middleton Way 7-Eleven petrol can station on yesterday. All right? The signs read, we're out of gas. Sorry for the inconvenience. But did you see it on your news? No. Did you see it on your news? No. So, do you really know what's going on? No. Did anybody else tell you about it? Probably. More than likely. More than likely. But have we chatted about it? Nope. But we are now. Okay. So keep your eyes open, you guys. Keep your eyes open. Fill up if you haven't. Fill up if you have not. Well, it's already here now, broadcasting, because the story that I'm going to read in the other live that I'm going to do for you all, I'm going to show you. I'm going to connect those dots for you. I'm going to take those dots and put them right together for you. So that is how it's going to happen. So that's why everything is going the way that it is. And I'm saying it to you guys. That's the reason why the stuff is going the way that it is, because they've got to unpack the bags that they used to get enough of the Molex sacrifices going on. Okay. To get enough of the Molex stuff going on, they had to do that for 50 years. They had to begin to break down the society. And now that they've packed the bag again with a whole bunch of other stuff, now they got to unpack the stuff that they used to get where they are now. They got to unpack the stuff. All right. They packed it up with enough to make enough moral decay to get us where we are today. Now that they've given everybody a stab at having rights, they're going to unpack it. And now that they're unpacking it, follow me, they're going to put something else in there as your governor. Okay? That's the governor. What is the governor? I love to talk about I love to talk about JB Hunt's governors that they put in their trucks, because they ain't gonna go no faster than the governor that JB Hunt put in there. They're gonna know exactly how fast that unit was moving. That's the governor. So now they're gonna roll in a new governor. Now you got a new governor to govern all? Baby, it's on and popping. And again, people say, well, that's not for us. That's for such and such. You know, I love talking to black folks about stuff like this because it just gets my goat. Well, that ain't for us. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna. They not gonna let that happen, dude. Bye. It's already going on. Wake up, smell the coffee. And if you don't drink coffee, how about a nice whiff of that green tea, whatever it is, okay? Because that's what's really going on. It is the switch and bait, but it is convenient because they will take a lemon and squeeze it all the way down to the pulp, and all the way they'll squeeze the lemon so much that they'll have one part of the rind touching the other part of the rind, and then they'll take that rind and then they'll grind the rind up and put it in some potpourri, a beautiful pot full of potpourri for you. Why? Because they ain't gonna let none of this go to waste. Nothing's going in the garbage can. Nothing's going in the garbage can. So they're going to use it to get some folks down there to think that they made a vote in November when they go ahead and do their thing. All right? We've got to vote. We've got to do it. We've got to go. You got what's her face down there in California? Maxine. Really, Maxine? You have not had a cycle in how many years? How many millennia has it been, sis? But you're going to tell, they can't drag us back out here. Lady, take your James Brown wiglet wearing looking self and go have several seats, because this is all a part of the game. And you're being used and you're allowing people to follow you. They always pull you and the bobblehead now Sharpton out whenever they want to push something in our community. And all the idiots that are running around touting this as, oh, it's so terrible what's happened in our community, what they're doing to us. You big mouth Margaret Sanger spokesperson, devoid of any history, Dodo Dweeb, have several seats. They're using you as usual. But hey, whatever Auntie Maxine says, you go for it. Okay? Whatever $50 size AOC says, bug eyes, you go for it. Eyes as big as a medallion. We don't want our rights, and ain't our rights, and ain't our rights. Okay. All right. Y'all keep going. Keep on going. Keep on going. Okay. All right. That's exactly what's up. Real talk. For real, for real. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and release the next story that I had. Again, you guys have probably already heard of it, but I just love talking about her. I just love talking about her because she's just a gift that keeps on giving. And even though you probably have already heard the story, please make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. And when it comes out, make sure that you are still subscribed to this channel. Make sure that if you are on the Lockhart Perspective, that you're still subscribed to that channel as well. Hit the like button here. Help me by sharing this out. And just have a good day. But I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to release the next story that's already done. And again, just look at it. You'll also be able to find out the phone number in case you didn't get a chance to go over and check us out on the Blog Talk. you'll be able to get the phone number because that's what's going to start this next video up that I'm about to release. All right, you guys, I love you guys. You guys are off the chain. Robin, Agent, Leon, Mike, Rage, Broadcasting. You know I ain't going to say your first name. Knowledge 2000, Leon, Wanda, Marty. You already know I ain't saying your first name, Broadcasting. Lou, how you doing? Jackie. All right. Everybody that I see, everybody that's chilling with us here in the chat. Um, in go outa. Hey, how you doing? All right. All right. I think that's everybody's name, unless I scroll all the way back up to the very top. David Bruce, I didn't see you sneaking here. Or did I? Vine Dressers Branch, hello to you. Gotta say y'all's name. My sister Sandy. It's one of my armor bearers right there. Okay. All right. Both she and Marty. Those are my armor bearers. Agent Josie, how you doing? All right. All right. Wanda McGibney. I like your last name. It makes me challenge my tongue tiedness. All right, you guys. I think that's all that I can see. Anybody that I missed here, please, please, please count it to my head and not my heart. Remember what we always say on any of the Felicia Lockhart Group publications, that man shall not live by bread alone. Hey, Brand. But by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. YouTube. I want you guys to remember what I always tell you, and that is to take care of yourself, Jack. Take care of yourself, Rumi. You guys take care of yourself first, okay? COVID psyop. Y'all take care of yourself first, Wanda. Blue Eyes, all of y'all. Take care of yourself first, and then you'll be able to take care of other people. You cannot take care of anybody if you're not straight. And if disappearing for a week or two means that you will definitely ensure that you're going to be okay, Michael A. and Indigo, you guys need to do that. All right? All right, Belle? Can't say that first name, baby. But hey, all right? You guys need to do that. Watchful and alert. Take care of you first. I'm saying this to everybody for real, for real. Take care of you first. All right? Get whatever you need to get done, Philip. Whatever it is you need to get done, you get it done. Take care of you. All right, Rick? Y'all take care of you, and then you can pass the blessings on to other people. Live in Missouri's outdoors, didn't see you. Hey, then you can pass the blessings on to others. But you can't be a blessing to nobody if you running on empty. Isn't that right, Zach? You cannot be a blessing to anybody else, Vape King, if you're not taking care of you. And that's just real talk. That's really what's real. All right. So you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys soon. You continue to be blessed until we see each other again. Please continue to be blessed.
Lockhart Perspective.